Alright, so we're going to do a couple of example problems using the quadratic formula. Remind you what the quadratic formula is. It is x is equal to negative b plus or minus the square root b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Alright, so let's look at our equation that we're given. It's not in standard form, so I'm going to move it in standard form. So that means I'm going to subtract 12 from both sides. So that's going to become 2x squared plus 7x minus 9, and that's going to be equal to 0. Okay? So now looking at this, my a here is 2, my b here is 7, and my c here is negative 9. So I'm going to put this using in my quadratic formula. So I'm going to say x is equal to negative b. Well, b is 7, so that's going to just stay negative 7. Plus or minus the square root. B squared is 49 minus 4 times 2 times c is negative 9, so that's going to be negative 9 all over 2 times a. 2 times 2 is going to give me 4. Now, if you notice, I did a little bit of shortcutting here. I didn't really quite do everything in my head, but I didn't quite show all of the steps, okay? I skipped the step of writing b, what b down is underneath the radical, and just a little bit shorter. But if you find yourself making mistakes with the signs and all that kind of stuff, do the blanks, all right? So now I'm going to do the next step. So x is equal to negative 7 plus or minus the square root. Negative times a negative is a positive, so I'm going to go ahead and just mark that and change that to plus. So that's going to become 49 plus 4 times 2 is 8. 8 times 9 is going to give me 72. Then that's going to be, of course, all over 4. I'm going to simplify my radicand, so this is going to be negative 7 plus or minus the square root of 121 over 4. Again, 121 is a fairly small perfect square. I know that's the perfect square of 11. Okay, so this is going to be negative 7 plus or minus 11 all over 4. So x is equal to negative 7 plus 11 over 4, or negative 7 minus 11 over 4, which is going to give me negative 9 over 2, and 1 is equal to x. All right, now let's do another video. All right, another video, another problem. So let's say we have x squared and, or let's say we have 3x squared minus 12, and that's equal to 0. Now, we know that we can simplify that. We know we have a GCF. We know that we can do, and that's going to end up giving us a perfect square. We know that. But again, we're utilizing the quadratic formula, and we need to be able to recognize certain things. So our a here is going to be 3. There's no x to the 1 power. So that means our b here is equal to 0. Our c is equal to negative 12. So that's going to be x is equal to 0 plus or minus. Since 0 is just gone, we don't really write 0, so I'm just going to put plus or minus the square root. B squared again is 0, so that's going to be 0 minus 4 times 3 times negative 12. I'm going to go ahead and put the 0 there just so you can see it. And minus. So, and then this is going to be all over. We're still going to have the all over. 2 times 3, which is going to give me 6. Okay? Now, here's where I'm going to drop. 0 divided by 6 is 0. Okay, so we can drop the 0. So this is going to be plus or minus. Again, I'm going to drop the 0 here. I'm going to drop this 0 here. So negative, again, negative times a negative become a positive, so that's going to change. Okay, 4 times 3 is 6. 6 times 12 is going to give me 144. I think 6 times 12. Whoops, 6 times 12 is going to give me, no, hold on. 4 times 3 is 12. And then 12 times 12 is going to give me 144. So this is going to be square root of 144 over 6. So we know that that is a perfect square of 12. So that's going to be plus or minus 12 over 6. So 12 divided by 6 is 2. Or not, sorry, not 2, 4. So that's going to give me x is equal to plus or minus, wait, I was right, 2. I don't know why I was thinking 4.